everyone. So, I wasn't going to bring astrology in here, but we have so many things going on this week, and for the next couple of weeks that was, it just seemed better to do it. So, welcome everyone, because this is all about forward movement, growth, and clarity, and you know I'm about that. So, if I can bring that to you, yep, that's what I'm doing. So, welcome everyone. My name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, hypnotherapy, and mediumship, spiritual advising to help you on your path. And now the author of my upcoming book series, Concepts Create Reality. So, before I get on with the spread, we have like these big aspects again. I mean, we already had like this lunar and the solar eclipse, but we've got, because the planets are always moving, but we've got like Mars moving, we've got Mercury going direct, and we have this big full moon in Pisces. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So let's talk about Mars movement. So Mars is going to move into Virgo, and it'll be there for about 6 weeks, which means wherever Mars was on your chart is now moving into a different house, right? So you're going to have movement, and you know, Mars is about energy, and Mars gives you that umph. And I mean, a lot of people like to talk about Mars being war, but Mars is about giving you all that energy and that like umph to do things, and that inspiration and that drive and that ambition to do things, right? So with it going into Virgo, it's going to make you like, because Virgo likes to organize and put their efforts into what's going to be, I don't know, worth their time, I guess. So, like, they're going to get gains out of it, right? So, with Mars going into Virgo, that's what you're going to be thinking, or that's the way you're going to be feeling. Like, I'm going to put effort in if it's worth it to me, if it's going to bring me gains. And that's okay. I mean, you should do that, right? Sometimes we need to do that. But it's going to be in different houses for different signs. So I'm going to go over that in each sign. But then we have Mercury going direct. And Mercury is going, it's moving to that, and it's going direct or station. So it'll be, so I'm sorry, Mars you'll feel for about 6 weeks. Mercury you're going to feel for about a week and a half, and it's going direct right on the point where we had the solar eclipse, right on that point. So it's like umph. It's like a lot of all these things that have been delayed, and this miscommunication, and these things that you have been like working through, tweaking on. If you've been doing the work, like when it goes direct, it's just going to all of a sudden give you resolution to those things, right? So, and it'll give you, so all these delays, it'll give you with your everyday that lower, I mean, I call it the conscious mind, but some people call it the lower mind. You know, there's the subconscious and the conscious mind. So all of that will start getting resolved. Those things, those things of where Mercury was like retrograde in your house, it's going to go direct, and those things are going to start resolving. Even if you put a little work into it, if you've been tweaking, like I said, to do during retrograde, you're going to feel like the difference where all of a sudden things just start moving forward, right? And so you'll feel the effects of that for like a week and a half, week and a half. And then you have Mars going into, you know, the next house, which is probably going into the house where your Mercury was retrograde for each one of you, or each one of us. And so you're getting like all this forced forward movement, right? Now, the other thing too is this full moon in Pisces. So what does that mean? So Pisces already is like a very intuitive, psychic, hidden realm kind of thing, and with this full moon, which is new beginnings, right? Is it's also got Neptune in there. So the full moon is on Pisces, and then it has Neptune. So wherever that falls in your house, you're talking about like miracles and manifestations and magical stuff coming to you without any effort. Like, this stuff is already going to be given to you. This is on your path. So depending on which house it is, you should start like getting these things coming from nowhere, like coming from the air. Like all of a sudden you get these things, right? So it kind of depends on which house it falls in for you. But the Pisces is about connecting to your higher self and connecting to spirit, connecting to oneness. The only thing is when you get this full moon stuff, it has to come from your heart. Now, when I say your heart, there's a lot of people that love from their second chakra. Now, and I'm talking about your fourth chakra, for it to come from your fourth chakra. Now, I haven't talked a lot about chakras here, but I'll do that on my website. The second chakra, when you love from the second chakra, that's about attachment and greed and fear and loss. Like when you're loving somebody from fear because you're afraid that you're going to lose them, or because when you love somebody because you're like, well, they're mine, that's attachment. That's second chakra love. I'm talking about anything that you do in this full moon. If it's from your fourth chakra, if it's from unconditional love, it is just going to blossom. It has to come from your heart if you get inspired to do these things, okay? Because if it comes from the other, then there's going to be ramifications. Unfortunately, this is how we decided to live on this earth, with duality, okay? So, but the great thing is this full moon is just going to be bringing all these things in different people's houses. So, on to the, I hope I explained everything. For each sign, I'm going to do each house, and I'll explain the houses and then how you'll be able to receive them, and then we'll do the love area. So, see you in a minute. All right, my beautiful Aquas, you know I love you. You know you have a special place in my heart. So, I'm going to talk about the houses first and how it's going to affect you in your particular houses with Mercury and the full moon and Mars. And I had to do this one next because I can feel that Mars moving. We have some of the people's comments are like just really aggressive. So where do I come home? Where do I come to when I want some peace? I come home, right? To Aqualand. So there's so many things I wanted to say. Like before I was even doing the spread and I was meditating on what I was doing and talking to spirit and getting centered, I just knew I could hear you guys, and I hear spirit like answering your questions, and I was like, it's gonna be about love, but they want to know about their money, but it's gonna be about love, but it's gonna be about both, right? So I was like, please, spirit, can we just have it about both, so they can get their answers, right? So I also want to say I'm feeling like a lot of new Aquas, so welcome all you new ones. If you don't know me or have never seen me, I have a lot of Aquas in my life. Always have had a lot of Aquas in my life. So I love and appreciate you, and I understand you because my ascending is Aqua. It's like 29 degrees Aqua, so I'm really Aqua. Even though my sun's Gemini and my moon is Sagittarius. So you think you're eccentric? Try that mixture. And my Venus is Aries. So let's get started. I'm trying to remember because there was like so many things I wanted to say. So what's going to happen is, first of all, let me just get this out of the way, because I know you're like, Cindy, I trust you, I trust spirit, but where's my money, right? And maybe a little bit came in, but where's my money? Where's my stability? Where is it, right? And so it's coming, I promise. Like, it's on its way. Like, if it doesn't start showing up, because I know some of you got some money and then you were like, oh, are we going to do this again like last year where we got some stuff going and then we didn't get it and then it stopped? No, that's not what this is, okay? So let me just say this. Your full moon is going, so this whole reading and your houses are all about your possessions, your stature, like these things that you have been working so hard to achieve. They're coming through. And the lover and the partner, right? Even though some of you are like, you know what, I don't have time to worry about all that because I got to do this. Like, don't worry, it's here. So the full moon is in your second house. That's where it's coming from. Now, the full moon in Piscean, is next to Aquarius. So we know about that energy. We know about that psyche. I have a Pisces North node and a Virgo South node, so that's why I can manifest so easy. That's why I understand it that well, because you Aquas know how to do it too. Like you know how to like be able to manifest things. You just kind of get stuck in like you get in your head too much and you'll like start wanting something and then you won't. So that's kind of where it can get blocked. But with Pisces full moon, these are things that are coming to you out of thin air, okay? This is with no effort. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to like put energy. This is just stuff that's coming to you, and it's in your second house. So For those of you that don't know astrology, your ascending or your first house is your identity on this earth, right? In this lifetime or in this universe. The second house puts value to your identity. So those are the possessions that you have that puts value to your identity. The homes that you created, the jobs that you created, the cars, the stability. That second house is about your possessions, money and your possessions, and your self-worth. It's what gives you your self-worth, because you get so proud. You're like, look, I bought this home, I did it on my own, I bought this car, I got this job, I did that, right? That's the second house. So with the full moon, and you'll feel it for 2 weeks, okay, with the full moon in your second house, you're gonna have like these gifts coming from nowhere. And what kind of gifts are we talking about? Possessions. We're talking about money. We're talking about valuable things. We're talking about stuff that gives you value to your identity. Okay? So, depending on the degree that you have, this in, is how much it will be unfolding for you. But it's not the only thing. When I look at your whole chart, I'm looking at all your stuff. I'm just showing you 3 different aspects of your chart. Okay? So, and this stuff will be manifesting in like I don't know magical ways, or I don't. You can say it differently. Like it's just going to be appearing from nowhere, right? So, also because it's Piscean, you're going to have these dreams, and I know you Aquas. This is the thing that Aquas have with me, because sometimes I tell their secrets. I'm not going to tell all your secrets, I promise, but I will tell some. But you know how to navigate in dreams. I know that you know how to do it, whether you say it to people or not. I know that you know how to navigate in dreams. Like I know you know how to work dreams. I could tell you a story, but I don't even want to go into that. um, but anyway, so in your dreams, you'll like be getting these downloads or these information, and that's the Piscean full moon, where it just gives you clarity about, maybe you were thinking about one business and another, and you're like, I don't know which way to go with it, and I can't see it all. Like you'll be getting the answers to that, or an investment, or maybe you're trying to decide between one home and another, or that's funny. I'm just seeing where some of you may be trying to see like the numbers for the lottery, for the lottery, like that. Like seriously, that stuff that's going to come from Piscean full moon. So you're going to not only be getting the physical possession stuff that you've been working so long for, but it's not even about you working hard for it, because you've always worked hard, right? It's not even about that. This is just going to come from like nowhere. It's not just that, the physical possessions and the physical relationships, situations, anything that gives you value to yourself. And some of you want a partner to be able to show you the value, right? Which is, I'm not judging people doing it in a different way. Everybody loves in a different way. So it's not just about that. It's about you getting this information, connecting to your higher self, connecting to the universe, connecting to source, oneness, and like, I'm not talking about these, and I guess I could say this with other people, but not with you Aquas. Like you Aquas can navigate in your dreams. I know what you can do. And so you'll be like, I can see like full on conversations of getting the actual, like, I don't know, formula to something, or like, I can really see that for some of you. Like you will be getting the actual answers. It's not going to be in like code or crypt or anything like that, like dreams can be, symbolism, right? This is just going to be like information being given to you. So when you get those dreams, don't hold off on it, because I know you Aquas sometimes, not all of you Aquas, but I've seen it way too many times, and I told you I've had them in my life, all my life. I've seen it way too many times where they went in forward time, saw the technology or saw an invention or saw something, and then they brought it back and thought of it, but they didn't do anything about it. And then 6 months later, somebody else invents it or brings it out to the public, and they're like, oh, I thought about that like a year ago, or I thought about that 3 months ago, or I thought about that 6 months ago. Yeah, you Aquas can do that because you didn't put anything in it. Like you didn't, you got the information, then it didn't go anywhere. So this is why I'm warning you, don't do that. Like if you get the information, do something about it. The beauty of life is that we have all those surprises, right? So do something about it. Take an action. All right. So that's for your second house. Now, we got that out of the way, right? So your Mars, well, let me just say this. Your Mercury retrograde was in your eighth house, right? So your eighth house, and this is why your stability and your money and blah, blah, blah hasn't come, okay? So your eighth house is because Mercury was retrograde in your eighth house, you may have had delays with others, people, money, people that money that involves others and you. It may have gotten delayed. This is where inheritances are. This is where lottery wins are. This is where like other people's money can be, and this is where money is too. Okay, so with Mercury in retrograde, you may have got delays with that. All right, so that's why I'm saying it's coming. But when it goes direct, so when it goes direct, Mercury goes direct, it's going direct on that point where we had the solar eclipse with Leo. So that means Regulus is there, and Regulus is a star. It's like the heart of Leo. So it's going to go direct in your eighth house, which means all those delays and all those things that weren't working out and all those things that are coming too slow, all of that is just going to push forward. Not just because it goes direct, Mercury, and you feel that for about 10 days, I think. Yeah. But Mars moves into that house, and Mars is about energy, that ambition, that initiative, that thrust, that like all of that. So you're getting Mercury result. So you're going to get resolutions in these issues, and you're going to get Mars pushing that energy forward. So you're going forward. Okay. I will tell you this before we even start this. I have not seen this card. I have not seen this card, and I have not seen this card. And I knew these two were going to come up for some reason. I was surprised at this one. Oh, actually, I haven't seen that one either. Like, you guys have a really, really different spread. But it's always like that with us Aquas, right? Because you guys are like, we're kind of eccentric and unique in that way. So Mars is going to give you the energy, and you'll start getting results. And this is why I'm saying, with that full moon in Pisces, if you're getting downloads and you're getting information about where to go next and having like clarity in this stuff, and then you're getting these possessions where you have the finances and the stability to be able to do these things, take the action. Like, take the action, okay? Don't sit on it, Aqua. Take the action, because Mars is going to give you the energy in that eighth house to take the action. And when you do, you're going to get results from your business, from your businesses, from your business partners, from banks. You can even go like try to get a loan to get something started at this time, because that's going to work out for you. Anything having to do with collaborations too. This is going to help you. You can't, so you can do it alone, but you don't really want to do it alone. You're an Aqua. So if you have collaborations, if you have somebody approaching you about collaborations or approaching you about a business partnership, any of that, like, don't move until you see the clarity in it, but you'll see the clarity in it if it's for you, because that's where the Pisces moon comes in. Okay, the Pisces full moon. All right, so we're talking about really intense transformation, life transformation for you. I know I said that with somebody else. I can't even remember what sign I said that with, but I'm feeling like the actual action and the physicality of all this stuff. Okay, which I'm really excited for you guys. It's just been a long time coming, and you guys are just, I don't know, you've just done it. You've just done it, and you're going to see it this year. You're going to see it, okay? Just some of you, it just kind of depends on the degree in which your sign is in that. So, some of you it comes out a little different. Well, everybody comes out a little different, but some of you it comes fast, some of you it comes a little bit later, some of you it comes unfolding through time, through this year. But don't worry, you're not going backwards, okay? Just don't think you're going backwards, because you're not. You've had this big transformation going on for the last 3 years. I'm hearing 4 or 2. So maybe 4 years. You've had this big transformation. You've gotten stuck. Things didn't happen the way you're supposed to, or you thought that you saw it, and then you had to go through all of that. But that's changing. That's different. This is all forward movement. Okay. So that's what's going on in your houses. Be careful when Mars is in your 8th house, because Mars having that thrust energy, on our physical level, on our physicality, because we're like so eccentric in our head sometimes, you can have accidents. So just be careful with that Mars energy with that. Um, Now, on to your reading. This is your love reading for September, but love to me is that energy that moves all. Now, I know you want to talk about, well, what am I getting? Where's that at? And blah, blah, blah. But like some of you, I feel like you want love, but you're like, yes, I do want a partner, but no, I don't want to play the game, right? And so sometimes you don't want to hear about the partner coming, or you don't even want to put energy into that because you're kind of leaving it neutral. But obviously they want us to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it. And I'm really surprised at this Emperor. So, and then look who's here. I mean, y'all know that you're going to get somebody very stable, right? I hope if you have been following me for a while and you have been working in this energy, then what you're calling to you is very stable, a very stable partner. So they're going to be very like stable in their life, in their emotions, in like we're talking about a king or a queen. We're not talking about a page or a knight. Like this is somebody that's real, that's gonna match you, and that's what you want. You want somebody to be your best friend and your lover and your life partner, and that's who this person is that's coming in. So, and I know it looks bleak out there and you're like, I don't ever see them, they're never around, but that's because they're not here yet. That's because you two are still trying to get to that same vibration. So sometimes us aquas can be, or you aquas can be, you can look so patient on the outside and then on the inside you're not. So don't worry, it's coming. All right, so in your first position, this is you. So you have the Four of Swords. This is funny because somebody else had the Four of Swords too. Um, but I'm seeing it in a very different way. So for some of you, your position right now is you're like, I'm just like done. Like I don't want to talk about it. Like I'm gonna listen, but I don't want to talk about it, right? It's like you put these issues to rest. You sort of, some of you are like, I'm just leaving it in the universe's hands. I'm gonna leave it in God's hands. I'm gonna leave it in Spirit's hands because I don't know what to do with it anymore. I have all this stuff that I've learned. I've been waiting for this stuff to come through. It's not freaking coming through. A little bit sort of sprinkles in, and that I don't even know if that's like worse or not. But it's like I know that there's some issues that I have to deal with, but I can't. There is nothing that I can do now. I just have to like rest, right? And that's kind of where you are. And that's actually the perfect position for you. It's probably the way that your higher self wanted it. Because you're so powerful and you're so like advanced that sometimes you try to, it's funny because sometimes you you try to, some of you, not all of you, but sometimes you try to like outthink the universe or try to like get a different way in, right? But you know, Spirit's like, okay, y'all can do your thing, but this is the perfect position for you because we need you to relax that energy. Okay, so what's crossing you is this Queen of Coins. To me, it can be a queen or a king. Okay, the queen to me is about the characteristics of this person coming in. Okay, it's the characteristics. So somebody who's very stable, somebody who has their own, can hold their own, somebody who is not after you to get a one-up, right? Somebody who has their own life, somebody who has worked very hard to get to where they want, but somebody whose love doesn't come, like they don't give their deep love to just anybody. And it's not like they haven't given it before, but love for them in their mind is like once in a lifetime thing. But we understand that things happen here, and so sometimes we have to do it twice, right? So, but their thinking is, I am only going to give my heart to somebody who is true, right? And they've worked very hard to get to this point. That's what I see coming in for some of you, and it's in your now. So we're talking, like, I don't even want to like say 1 or 2 weeks or whatever. I'm just saying this is the energy right now. To me, right now can be like now to the next 2 weeks, or now in the month of September, right? And They again are not wanting to give me a pinpointed time, because then we'll try to like control it, right? So that's for some of you. For others of you, now this person can be a Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus, but they don't necessarily have to be. They've come through a lot. They work very hard for what they have, and they are so open and loving with their heart, and it's a true heart, and that's the person that's coming in for you. Okay. Now, for others, I see that they're trying to, they're saying, we understand that you're like tired and like you are overrun and you're like, you don't know where to go, and you're not, you know this stuff works, these things come in, how to manifest, but it's not coming the right way, or it's not coming the way I saw it. And so for that reason, they're saying you are going to be this person, or you're actually already this person. You just have to have the unfolding of it. You are this stable person. You are this person who's come through a lot. You have learned a lot of lessons. You have rethought the way that you used to do things, and now you do them differently through your growth, through your soul's growth, through your life's growth, through, coming through so much. And that's the Queen of Swords. I mean, that's the Queen of Coins. That's that Queen or King of Coins is someone that's very hardworking, but is able to, they always get what they want. Like they're able to manifest a beautiful life around them because they work so dang hard, right? And you Aquas know how to work hard, but you're like, if it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it, right? You're not afraid of hard work. You're just like picky about it. And so that in the past may have gotten in the way, but it doesn't now. So, because you're now you are this stable person. It's just about the unfolding for you. Okay. So in your recent past, you had the Ace of Wands. And so you came from new beginnings. And like I said, this is what I was feeling. Like there were some new starts, there were some new beginnings, and it was passionate. And you were like, yep, here we go. I can feel it. I can feel it revving up. I know it's here. And then it sort of just kept, it's not that it stopped. It just has maintained the same. And you don't like that, right? Because you're like, you can feel this rev up thing. You can feel the energy moving faster and getting bigger, and that's what it looked like, the Ace of Wands. And this could be with someone if you've met someone already, because it kind of depends on, every aqua is different. But this could have been like very exciting and very passionate, and it's new beginnings, and then you're like, well, I thought it was supposed to be this one way, and it's looking like it's another way because now I can't see it right? That's what put you in this situation. Excuse me. Now, in your fourth position, this is the Knight of Wands. So in the first 2 weeks of September, you have offerings coming to you. Now, the offerings can be a new person coming in, because it could be this person, or it could be business partners, or I see a lot of like opportunities where somebody comes to you and offers you, like, I don't know, like maybe if you're in the entertainment industry and they're like offering you a part, or they're offering you like a collaboration, or they're offering you like, this position or something, or they're offering you, promotion, something. This has to do with that part, with your money, it's tied into your money and your, and the way that you're going. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So either way, this offer is very exciting. It's very passionate. It's got a lot of energy behind it. And again, with the houses being involved, we kind of know, that whatever this is, it's going to move forward. It's going to go forward. But you do have to take the action, Aqua. You can't get in your head and be like, well, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be that way, so then I'm not going to do it, right? Or you can't be like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet. I got to think about it, right? Like, don't think too long. Just do it. That's what they're saying about this eighth house. You got the energy in there. Take the action. Don't stand on it too long, okay? So either way, the first 2 weeks you'll be getting this offering, and it could be a date, it could be this person coming in, it could be this business partner coming in, it could be somebody here to help you, or it could be a romantic. Okay, so that's what you'll be dealing with in the next 2 weeks. Now, from your higher self in the 5th position, I always ask your higher self, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward in love? And you have this 2 of Swords. See, this is what they're talking about. You're ready to go forward, but then something comes to you and you're like, well, I can't see it, or I don't feel it, or like I don't think I have enough information yet, right? And they're saying you always have the information. You have enough information. Don't get stuck in the middle of not doing something. Just take the action. And honestly, it doesn't, if you take this action, you go this way. If you take this action, you go this way, but neither one of them are wrong. You've positioned yourself in a way that it's not going to be wrong, okay? So just have some faith in yourself, have some trust in yourself, and take the action. So whatever this is in the month of September, these things that are going to be going on, because it's not just one thing, it's a couple of things. This transformation that's going to be going on with you, you'll start feeling like, all right, I got to wait before I like make this decision. I got to like wait, and I got to think about it, and I got to feel it out, and they're saying just take the action, just do it, okay? Or, I mean, you can stay here, but their advice is you've positioned yourself in such a way that it does, if you take one action, it's not wrong. If you take the other action, it's not wrong. It was for you to begin with. I'll say that, okay? Now, in your 6th position, this is at the end, so the second half of the month, you have the Fool card. So this is really interesting. This is 0 point energy, right? So this is about anything that's coming along in that second half of the 2 weeks, because it could be about this person, it could be about this offer, it could be about this beginning that started, it could be all of it together, actually. They're saying, we're going to give you the extra energy, so wherever you want to put it, it's going to pan out. It's going to have results. You are going to have results with it. So this is like a extra energy for you. So in the second half, it's going to be about you taking the initiative. So it's like the universe is bringing you these things, or these people, or these situations, and now you have to take the action to do what you want with that. You can't just like let it lie. You have to actually put some energy and take the action to it. That's what they're saying. So like if this person you meet and this person is like a new love, and then they're giving you an offering, don't like sit on it. Like initiate some stuff and let them know that you like them back. Don't assume that they know that you like them back. Like let them, this is supposed to be a two-way thing, right? That's what you're wanting. You're wanting a best friend, but you got to give and take too. So it could be in your businesses and your money situation. Like you're going to get these gifts. Remember the full moon in your second house. So you're going to get these gifts. You're going to get these things coming to you. You're going to have enough energy to push them forward and do what you want with those. So don't rest on your laurels. They're saying keep the momentum going, because that's what you're feeling. You're feeling like that momentum starting, and you got to put some energy in it to keep it going, right? Because it isn't until it starts going fast that you can sort of relax it a little. But this is that energy that you've been waiting for. This is that energy that you've been saying, I can feel it, I can feel it. And you're right, you can feel it, but you have to make some action too. You have to make some decisions and do some things as well. And that's that could be romance, that could be businesses, that could be business partners, that could be collaborations, that could be a lot, okay? Because it's different for everyone. Now, in your 7th position, this is your fear. I know you're like really focused on being stable in your life, and that person that you're really wanting it's like in the background of you. It's like I know I have to have a partner because I really want a partner. That's what I came here to do. That's what I really want. But I've been having to do all this stuff, and like, will that ever come? I don't even see the time where that could come, because I can't even get this started, right? Like I can't even get this going. And so that's a fear. The fear is, really, is there really someone? This is the fear. Is there really someone that's out there for me that can really understand me and I them on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level? Is there someone like that? And if there is, will I ever find them, or will they ever find me? Because it just doesn't seem to be happening. And it's just a fear. Okay? It's just a fear. It was because you wanted to get all these things done before this person came in. Because when this person comes in, like, it's like that's your life partner. There's no more searching. There's no more like looking. There's no more like hoping. There's no more of that, because they're here. And then begins that life, right? This is just a fear. This is just there to remind you of what you don't want. It's reminding you of that I don't want to be alone. I don't want to not have a partner. I do want one. Okay? That's just there to remind you of that. And now focus on what you want. So anytime that part of your psyche comes, or that part of your feeling comes, then answer that feeling with, yes, I do want that. And yes, I am leaving it open, because I trust myself, because I trust the universe, because I trust my higher self, that that person is and I are going to meet exactly when it's supposed to happen. Make sense? Now, in your 8th position, this is the way a loved one will be viewing you or dealing with you. And for some of you, it's the universe or God or oneness or your spirit or your guides. You have the Palace of Swords. So the Palace of Swords is a state of mind. And the state of mind is that mental thinking outside the box, right? And I feel like this for some of you. For some of you, I feel like the universe is saying, first of all, you're an Aquarius. You're going to do this in such a way that no one has done this. That you had to not just be inspired and create it, but you had to, how do I say this? You had to how do I say this? You had to open that vibration in a very different way than it has been opened before. Does that make sense? That's for some of you. I hope that makes sense to you. What they're saying is that on this earth and in this lifetime and with the people that are around you and with the universe or the world that you've created around you and those people co-creating, that you had to break out of that and into something new. And so for that, it takes time, because you're doing things in such a different way. And they're saying, stick to that mental attitude, that you are different, you are unique, and you are going to do things differently. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it and that it's not going to happen. It's just taking a different route, because I know that you guys look at other people and you're like, well, that's happening to them, but why isn't it happening to me? It's not happening to you because you're doing it a very different way. Okay? Now, for others of you that have a partner or that have whoever this loved one is that's looking at you, the way that they're dealing with you is they're trying to figure out, because you're being, sometimes some of you are being aqua. They're trying to figure out, I know this person thinks outside the box, and I know this person may like me. I think I know this person likes me, but I don't know what they want yet. That's how I feel that they're looking at you and dealing with you. So right now it's all about the mental attitude with them. They're sort of checking it out. Okay? And it could be this person that comes in and this person that gives you the offering. They're thinking, we could really go far. I'm just not sure what they're wanting, because you aquas like to keep it close to your vest, right? So that's how they'll be dealing with you and thinking of you in that way. Okay? So in your 9th position, this is your hopes and dreams position, but to me, you guys know it's like the outer rim and the energy that you're bringing in, being on this line. There's your Emperor. I mean, for some of you, that is you. For some of you, look at that dynasty you're building. Look at you. Look at the light that you have been divinely guided to. Look how strong and warrior-like you are. I mean, that's you. That's you, and that's coming. And they want you to know that's coming. They want you to know that this stuff really is true, that you really are true, that they really are true, and that you can have those things that you want, and that you will, because you've worked on them, right? You will. Now, for others of you, this is that Emperor y'all are looking for, or Empress. This is the one that matches you. This is that person. It's like they're not here, but they're going to be here. And they're not here because you still have some other things you're doing, right? You still have some stability to get to before this person comes in. It's not that they don't want to come in, it's just that the vibration isn't there yet. So for others, that person is coming in for you. That person is really there for you. Again, there is someone that matches you. Absolutely. Okay? So congratulations. Now, this is your 10th position. In your 10th position, this is the overall outcome of what you'll be working through in the month of September. You have the Lover's card. Now, I know some of you are like, I don't see it. But it's okay. You'll see it when you see it, right? So the Lover's card to me is a karmic card. The Lover's card to me, and the reason I call it that is because it's a 50-50 card to me. This person that's coming into your life, or that's here already, or the people and relationships that you're dealing with already, but I kind of feel like this person's coming in. These are, the reason I call it a 50-50 is because once you've learned your lesson with them, and the lessons can be like so many things. The lessons can be like, I wanted to know what it was like to live the rest of my life with someone, to I wanted to know what it was like to live with someone and have that being taken away because I wasn't appreciative. And I mean, there could be like so many lessons, but you guys have been through a lot of that. So, but don't forget that there is a lesson in, I wanted somebody at the second half of my life or in the middle of my life to come in and live out the rest of my life with, because I want to know what that deep, deep, deep level of physical human love is, right? So that's why I call it a 50-50 card, because after the lesson, you have 50% and they've got 50%, whether they want to stay or go, and whether you want to stay or go in the relationship. And I'm not just talking about love, I'm talking about your business partners, I'm talking about your friends around you, I'm talking about your family. I know this comes out as the lovers, you know, and so for mainly for you guys, it's the lovers. It is romantic, it is that partner, but for others of you, it's a business partner. And they have had lessons with you before. You have this bond together. You know each other from not just this life, but from other lives. It's so funny because, like I told you, I have aquas all in my life. And so I know I haven't made the aqua video, but I will tell you guys, I was talking to some aquas and I said, well, I will tell you guys where you're from. You're from the ancient future is where you're from. And so they were like, what? And then some of them got it. But that's where you're from. You're from the ancient future. So different ancient futures, but you're from the ancient future. So if that makes sense to you and you get that, that's where you're from. And we can go further into that in on my website, because that's the other reason that I'm doing this video, because my other aqua video with the solar eclipse was, they almost wanted to ban it because I was talking about too much stuff, like not of this earth stuff. So they, even though they didn't ban it, it's really hard to find on my channel. It's really hard to find on YouTube. So I was like, let me put this out for the aqua so that they see that I have been doing readings for them. They're just not getting it. So look on my channel if you haven't seen that one. But anyway, so back to this. This is what you'll be working through. This is what you'll be understanding. This is what will be going on in the month of September. Congratulations to some of you, because you do have somebody coming in. I know it doesn't look like it, but again, you have the full moon in your second house. So we never know how it's going to come. It's just going to come. And I know it's been a long time coming. So some of you feel like it's never coming, but it is. All right. I love you, love you, love you. I will talk to you soon.